Hello there, listeners of the Nastagram podcast. This is Josh, cutting in here at the top for a quick announcement before we get to what I promise is the final episode of our Dark Legacy ep. Next week, we will be releasing our usual format wrap-up talk where we all sit down and talk over how the arc went and all the stuff we liked and any questions we have for each other. But we want to try something new, and we also want to do a little bit of a question and answer for any questions you guys might have. Questions about the arc, about mysteries, about things that were maybe unresolved. You can ask things to Jake specifically as a storyteller, to any of the players. And since we haven't done this before, if you have questions about the podcast, about Nastagram or us in general, feel free to fire away anything you like, and we will release that the following week. As soon as this is released on August 23rd, you can go to any of our socials, the Facebook page or the Facebook group, Nastagram RPG Lounge, as well as where you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, and the podcast, NastyGramRPG.com. And you'll find posts there. Throw up your questions, or if you want to stay off the socials, good for you. And you can just go ahead and email us directly at nastygrampod@gmail.com. And we'll give you guys 1 week from release to Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Cut off at, say, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get those in. Thanks as always for listening, and enjoy the climax of Dark Legacy.
Here comes the Nastagram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastagram RPG podcast. This is the finale of Dark Legacy, Episode 11, The Last Temptation, Part 2.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a cynic. Redemption. Now I'm waking to pain and shaking. My guts are running out of flurry.
I take the cup and stand next to Marlo.
You all sort of settle in and prepare and wait. And the clock strikes midnight and nothing seems to happen. And you give him the drink and he drinks it.
Once I give it to him, I kind of put the cup down and I unsling my rifle and then head to the door and stand in front of it.
Sorry, Dan, did you want to take a picture? Was that your plan? Or did you abandon that plan?
I think he wants to take a picture of while we're kind of in that midnight hour or just before then. He takes a picture of him now.
Okay.
And
so now.
Yep. And so there's a glass negative that he puts inside a case, and then he sets it up for another picture afterwards.
All right. So I imagine this church just lit with hundreds of candles, and then there's this bright flash of the camera.
You hear the glass breaking.
As James drinks this in expectation that he's going to kind of get sleepy from this, King's going to talk to him a bit, and he's trying to give him hope.
Okay.
He's trying to talk to him about his family's future and about his children and about basically he's just trying. He does truly believe that James can come out of this, and he's trying to instill that same hope in James.
Trying to use that oration skill last time.
Almost like he's falling
Persuasion.
asleep, like he's having trouble staying awake because of this. But you talk to him for a while, and you all kind of set up. And hours go by. And Ryan, you maybe nod off for a moment. You open your eyes and you're in the church, but it's bright outside. You hear running water. There's no one in the building. You're alone. There's no marks on the ground. There's none of the weird voodoo items hung up. You look out the window and you see forest.
I'm going to get up and walk around the church a little bit.
You walk out the front door and you're in the middle of the forest and you see a river. I don't know if you've ever been to this river, but it is Elk River.
Okay.
It's the place where your father died. Mm-hmm. And you see Marlo sitting on the shore fishing. And he says, Les, come on over.
Um,
They're not biting. He casts the line into the water, and as it hits the water, you realize the water is red.
okay. What are we doing here, Mr. Marlowe? We're not supposed to be here.
What do you mean? We're just fishing.
But we ain't fishing though. It's not right. This isn't what's happening.
Oh, you know I'm not Marlowe.
I did have that inclination now.
Have a seat. He pats the ground next to him.
I prefer not to, sir.
You know where this place is? You ever been here?
I ain't been here, but something tells me this is where my pa died.
Your father died here. You're right. Him and Marlowe, they took a lot of natives with them. People who thought this was their land, and, well, they were slaughtered just for trying to live their life. You look across the bank, and you see Wakara. And Marlowe sees Wakara, and for a moment he has a look of surprise on his face. Then he says, your father was not a good man. Neither was James Marlowe.
Was?
He's gone now. Or at least he will be. Unless you want to stop it.
I believe that's why I came here, sir.
Have you read the Bible?
I can't say I'm much of a reader. I do know some verses, but I ain't knowing all of them.
Did you really think you and your friends could stop me? Do you know how long I've planned this?
Well, if what the priest told us was true for many, many years, hundreds.
Marlowe is mine, and he will die. He's dying right now as we speak, and I will take his place. But I'll give you an option to save him. I'll give you the same deal I gave him. Ryan, do not answer. Here's a nasty gram.
Love it. Trademark.
I want you to just write down.
Do you like me? Yes or no?
Just write your name and write yes or no. Yes, to be clear, is yes, I will take the deal and take his place. No is no, I will not. He says, I'll give you the same deal I gave the Marlowes. 50 years. 50 from now, in fact. You live your life. You will have strength, influence, wealth, anything your heart desires. But you take the place of the Marlowes. Meanwhile,
Anyone have a pinprick or a knife so you can sign that in blood?
Silas, you nodded off as well. When you awake, you are in the church still, but the room is lit by an eerie red light. You look around and none of your friends are here. None of the things that you saw before, but there are several tables set up with bins of developer. There's film hanging from lines drying. And you see yourself reflected in a mirror.
Don't like it.
And the reflection of you turns and looks at you.
Ugh.
Gross.
And then it says, hello?
Where am I?
Nowhere.
What do you want?
I want to know you. Do you know who I am?
I have a guess.
He dips a photo in the developer, and as he pulls it out, you see blood dripping off of it, as if he dipped it in blood. And on it, you see an image of the general that you assassinated during the war. And he clips it up on a wire. He says,
Perhaps a fish drying line.
I gave John a knowing look when I heard drying line.
Fuck you. He says, why do you fear the mirror so much?
It can reveal a truth that I don't want to see.
It shows you a monster. And you fear that you are the monster?
I know I have been one.
He pulls another picture out, and it's the man that you shot in the factory. And he hangs it up. Do you think it matters to them?
To the dead?
Yes.
They are dead because of it.
But you live. Ultimately, that is what's important. Yes, your own survival.
Silas kind of looks at the two photographs and he says, I would like to think it's more than that.
But ultimately, that's what this is all about. Self-preservation.
Silas is shaking his head. See, you missed the point. It's about the preservation of others, too.
You care so much about this, Marlowe? About preserving him?
I care now about preserving the balance.
You know you can't defeat me.
That may be true.
You know what arrogance it is to think that. There's only one way that you leave this church. I'll offer you the same deal I offered him. Take his place. Live 50 years. But live. Who knows? Perhaps in that time you can even find a way to save yourself in those books. There's hope, at least. It buys you time. Will you take the deal?
He hands you a note.
Benton.
Oui?
This one ought to be a trip.
Benton, I want you to tell me where you are.
Oh.
Like, where does he wake up?
Where do you find yourself when you wake up?
I'd say the floor of a dirt shack that's probably like 2 feet high, about 3 feet on each side.
Okay. You hear a knocking on the outside wall, and you see a figure crouch down. You see through the crack in the wall that it is Marlowe. Matt, you know you know what is happening, and the reason I wanted you to tell me where you are is because you are more in control than the others were. You know that this is in your mind, and you know that this isn't Marlowe. You immediately understand before he even speaks to you why you're here and what he is going to offer.
This is a good trick, huh?
Interesting that you would choose this place, Mr. Beauclair.
It is the place I felt most comfortable. The place where it was just me and the Bondi.
Why don't you come out of there and talk to me?
See, pulls off the lid, climbs out, sits down on the side and pulls out a pipe.
Are you in the swamp?
No, he's out in the middle of a field.
Okay. He leans up against the box and he says, I suppose you question whether or not you were lucky to meet James Marlowe with all that's going on now.
I knew there's a purpose. I knew I had to save him in the swamp all that time ago. I didn't know you had something to do with it.
You know, the Marlowes were nothing before me.
Yeah, I
The
see.
first one, John, he was a coward. He would have died a coward's death, probably. I gave them so much more, and for so long they disrespected my gift. But with each generation, their power grew, and I'm patient. The longer this goes on, the more powerful I will be when I get them.
Oui. They thought they could trick the devil. Much like some do now. Let me ask you something, huh? What'd you get out of me?
He shrugs and he says, I don't think I'll even try to make a deal with you. I know you won't take it. But you should know what I'm offering the others. I'm offering them all to take his place. I'm offering them all a life. A life, strength, prosperity. And in return, I get them in place of Marlowe. You know one of them will take it. I'll walk out of here. You know you can't stop me.
Oui. There always has to be a balance, huh? A light in the dark.
Unless you took the deal instead. You can't be sure of which one of them will take it. But you would know if it were you. You would know where the darkness is.
Oui. But you know what I don't know? Where else the darkness is.
I'm sure you're wise enough.
You can lay many seeds, huh? As he looks about the fields, I seen your work many times in my youth. Out here in these fields, on the horses, planting many seeds. I know you better than you think, monsieur.
I don't often get to meet your kind. He means voodoo people, by the way. It was a pleasure.
Oui. Until next time, monsieur.
Mr. Burke.
Hello.
You must have dozed off. You are in the church. The pews have been moved out. There is no one here, but there is a stage set up for some sort of town hall meeting. There's banners, and one of them reads, Burke for President 85.
1985? No, that's
Strewn around the floor are bones. Human bones. And the doors to the church open, and Marlowe walks in.
James?
No.
I see.
He kind of kicks some bones out of the way as he walks towards the stage. Is this what you want? I mean, you wouldn't be the first.
I only want to do what I can in this world.
You've changed.
Yes, perhaps I have.
I don't think I can offer you what I thought I could offer you. He kind of thinks for a moment.
You would seek to tempt me with power, corruption?
You've already taken that, haven't you?
I've taken opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yes.
By now, I assume you've learned that there are prices to be paid.
Indeed, I have learned this. But there's a price to every choice one makes.
It'll be difficult. Will you give your State of the Union at night? Will you hold all of your rallies indoors?
I do not think that he looks up at the banner. That this is in my future. I have made a sacrifice, as much as any of us have. Perhaps doors that had the potential to be open to me will not be.
But you have learned to conquer fear, haven't you?
I have learned that if there's a cost, I'd merely have the responsibility to do a greater good then the cost will reap.
So noble. Well, then in that case, perhaps the offer still is on the table. If you're willing to pay the cost, then take James Marlowe's place. Now I realize that 50 years may not be as long for you anymore. For the others, it's a lifetime. I'll offer you triple.
And all my vampire children, the same?
I'll offer you 150 years. And I'll also offer you more power than you have even now. And James gets to walk out of that church alive, with his soul intact. I must admit, what we can do together in 150 years will be far greater.
What will you do with James otherwise?
Otherwise,
Really got to explore the options.
he'll further my agenda. He is a man of wealth and influence, and I will use that wealth and influence to push things in the way that I want them pushed.
You believe that if I do not take this deal, as I'm sure you've offered a deal of your own to the others, you think that you can overcome them? If you had the strength that all the others fear, why would you need to make deals in darkness? I know weakness when I see it. I've felt it. I've been it. I think without us, you'll never step foot outside that church.
That is a clever observation, Mr. Burke. But it doesn't matter if one of them takes the deal, right? I think they call it the prisoner's dilemma.
Yes, I'm not sure if that's been so
established.
but it sounds actually pretty interesting.
Maybe I'll study it later.
Really hit.
But I'll tell you this. I'd rather have you. But if you decline, one of the others will do. Here's your Nastagram, Josh. Noah Fashnak.
Yeah.
9! Niet.
He's a real dark horse for this, but hey, you never know.
Let me pass this paper all the way down the end of the table to John. It's pretty far away. He's way down that other end.
Yeah.
Noah, you awaken in the church, but one of the walls and the roof have been blown apart and are missing. The entire town looks very similar to a shelled out European World War II village.
Yeah.
It's definitely the site of a massive battle. You can see dead bodies in the street. The sun is just starting to come up. You're a little disoriented at first, and you see Marlowe standing in the street.
James, is that you?
He just kind of starts walking towards you, and he says,
What is this?
"This is the future. This is what's going to happen.
What do you mean?
I'm not James.
Noah squints his eyes.
This is the future."
The future you make?
No. You know. This is the future you make, Mr. Fashnak. With your guns and other things. You won't stop there, will you? Perhaps you'll even use the events that happened here in Black Valley to justify increased arms, more deadly weapons. And all the time, while justifying it as fighting some great evil, you'll continue to sell them to the highest bidder. And this is what they'll be used for. This is the future that you create.
9. That is where you are wrong.
You've told me yourself. How many did your military order? Evil comes in many forms, Mr. Fashnak. Perhaps men like you are just the newest form.
That order will not be fulfilled. I have declined it. Sent a letter yesterday. I am staying here in America. What do you want from me?
He says, "You're serious."
Yeah. There is evil here. I have seen it with my own eyes. And now I know what I must do.
He's seems taken aback. He says, "I'll give you one chance.
You are.
Take his place.
Noah kind of laughs.
Make the noble sacrifice. What's to stop you from taking your own life right after the deal is made?
Ah,
That would save your friends, wouldn't it?
you are afraid, aren't you? This is why you come to me in a dream to offer me this choice. You are not leaving this church.
Mr. Fashnak, this is the only way you leave this church.
If I take you with me, it will be worth it.
I'll make sure that the others that agree take you out first.
You think you can tempt them?
You know them. That's it. I need answers.
Here's Kingsley's.
Matt, I need a
Text message.
text message, please.
From the devil.
I want to know, Jake, I want you to write your own Nastygram to the players before you read these of your guess as to,
As to who,
yeah.
if anyone takes the deal.
What if multiple people take the deal, Jake?
That'd be awesome.
Awesome for the devil. I'm so happy for the devil.
Imagine if
All of us look
imagine
at
if
each
your
other.
entire
Everybody.
party sold out.
All of you look at Noah.
I have two guesses, and they're on this paper.
Everyone looks at each other, they nod, and then we just all walk out together.
Hold on. I got a message from Matt.
Hail Satan.
All right, let me just take a look.
Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hail Satan!
Wait, what?
Oh, hey. Is he gone? We'll put in some
Fucking asshole.
Jeopardy music here.
Okay, I'm going to pass these back just so that you all have your papers.
That's
Is
the
not
kind of game
that
it's
is
gonna be.
Ryan's. That's yours, Josh. That's Noah. Silas. Okay. All
Too
right. Did I
early.
give everyone the
Double
right
check.
paper? Because that would suck. All right. No, okay. So you all sort of snap out of it, and you're back in the church. And
The priest took the deal. You're all fucked.
Marlowe says, "I feel fine still. What time is it?" It's 4:30.
I say the time from the pew I'm sitting in.
He says, "I think it's starting to wear off. Should I take more?"
Kingsley stands and his gaze passes from one companion to another, trying to read them all.
You're all like
Silas-
so totally quiet, like
Silas
looking at each other,
gets
and
it.
Marlowe is like clearly confused.
Silas gets up slowly and walks over to his camera where he's set up the next negative.
Silas, ensure that everyone is in the picture. Noah steps away from the door and heads towards where Marlowe's pew is.
Sheila says, "Did you all have the same vision?"
Yeah.
Oui?
Father Stewart nods as well.
I imagine the versions varied.
Silas is nodding his head.
James says, "Someone explain what's going on."
The devil offered us all to save you, to take your place. He is scared.
It's reminiscent of the deal he offered your ancestor.
He says, "Did someone take it?"
None of us can be certain. I am hoping the truth will be revealed. Please, gather around the circle.
Noah steps in the circle,
Oui?
rifle in hand.
Benton does as well, unclipping the buckle on his buck knife at his hip.
Silas, can you be in the picture as well?
He nods.
Timer.
A little timer. He lights a fuse on it and just blows up the church.
Can you?
I think they had
Little
like
remote.
the little squeeze
Yeah,
remotes.
okay.
So I just roll it out.
Sure. You all sort of gather together and take a little group selfie.
photo.
Group pic. Okay. Flash lights up the room. You go over and look at the glass negative.
I pull it out and
Yeah.
then I hold the plate up to candlelight.
Okay. What you see is there is something around the room, but it's not around Marlowe. It's moved into someone else, into the crowd. There's almost like this weird ring of light, like a double exposure. Like it would be considered just a flawed
An
photo.
error. Yeah.
But it's not around Marlowe. It's this glow is around all of you. I think I'm just gonna let you guys figure this out that easily. Roll occult and composure.
Is there anything Benton can glean from looking at this photo?
Sure. Why don't you roll as well?
4 successes.
Okay.
What was it? Resolve and composure?
Composure and occult.
Word.
3 8s and a 7.
You look at it and then you pass it around for everyone to sort of look at.
Yep.
4 successes.
Same as Dan. Okay. So you both think sort of the same thing, which is Marlowe does not seem it like I said, it's on someone else in the room, not Marlowe.
Okay. But it's
here.
It's here.
Whatever it is.
Can Kingsley roll off insight, composure and insight? Or
yes, but
something
it's
else?
gonna be something that probably won't be an instant thing. It'll be as you all are talking.
Okay.
I mean, because at the moment you're all just standing there not doing anything.
Yeah.
So why don't we, after some role playing?
I think Silas, as he passes off the negative, he says, while what we see here would in normal parlance be considered a defect, we know that there's something more. But what is curious to me is that this thing seems to be free from Marlowe himself. That it does not radiate towards him, but more generally towards us.
I mean, imagine this is not an exact science, so what you're seeing, perhaps the reflection of temptation. If we were all indeed reached out by this thing.
Does this mean someone took the deal?
I cannot say for certain. This is interpretive.
Well,
Ashila says, we know nothing. It may still be my son who has been corrupted.
That much I still feel strongly that it has left him.
Father Stewart says this is exactly the sort of trick the devil would play. He is trying to set us against each other.
Oui. But he has already succeeded, huh?
What would you suggest we do next, Mr. Beauclair? If there is a devil among us, how would we discover it?
I don't know. Normally it'd be something you pray on.
This is a dire answer, perhaps a last resort. But from my research, anyone afflicted by this curse has a unnatural ability to resist death.
Group suicide, everyone! They float their own way.
100%!
Jonestown.
Holy shit.
Excuse me, Mr. King.
Perhaps the only way we can be certain is that no one leaves this church.
For 50 years.
Except, of course, whoever it is, if there is one that took this deal, for they would not perish in the same manner. Seems a flawed hypothesis.
seems to me if you took the deal and you're an honorable man gone this far to help Marlowe, you would say so we can figure out what to do next.
You would, unless the game master sent you a nasty-gram, probably.
Oui. Can we be sure it's not still in Marlowe?
Marlowe says, It's not. But I suppose I don't know how you would believe me.
Monsieur Marlowe, do you remember the first thing I promised you?
That you would protect me? That you would see me safely home?
I'm sorry, but that is wrong. And I'll pull out the buck knife off of his hip and
Wait,
walk
is that
towards
not right? Hold on.
Marlowe and hold it to his throat.
He said, but when I met you in that field, Matt, I'm sorry, I'm kind of winging it here.
Oh,
I don't actually know. I don't fucking know what the first thing he said to you was.
Oh, it was the first thing I told him was that I would make sure that the devil
1, 2,
was
3.
dead.
Oh, you mean today? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant like the first time you ever saw.
Oh,
ever
no,
met him.
sorry.
Well, he when he says that in that field, you realize he is talking about the first time that he ever met you.
Oh, so I'll pull the knife out. No, tonight. About the devil.
Yes,
My
that
last
he
thought
wouldn't
was
leave here.
to protect you, huh?
He nods.
So walk towards him with the knife. I'll make sure that your son knows that you.
What,
We're a
now,
good
now,
man.
just wait a moment. Just wait a moment. We're not testing this out by plunging blades into each other.
No, but we know that he was the first one, huh? If nobody took the deal, then it's still in him.
We do not know that.
We cannot be sure.
I don't even know if I can call it evidence. This is all beyond me, but this photograph, for whatever it indicates, if anything, it's the only thing that it shows is that is not in him.
I
No.
have.
We do not know what the photograph shows. It is a picture, a defect, huh? But we know the devil would take him unless somebody took the deal. We came here to protect Monsieur Marlowe. If he is still here,
There is perhaps another option. Father, you said that magic is in the blood, yes?
He nods.
We have this, and he points to the crooked dagger that's at your hip, Matt.
It's going to be like that scene, The Thing. Draw everybody's blood and touch the blade into it.
wait, you think this could tell?
It's possible. It is the source of the bargain.
He says it is a tool of the devil. I do not think it would betray him.
Wait, so everybody takes a cuff from this dagger? They'll pull it out and bent on.
No,
He's saying
he's
that-
saying it. He doesn't think it would.
Oh, it would mean anything?
But it is an option, at least. It is one that is based on the fact that it is an artifact of the past. It is an artifact of the deal. Does
So-
anyone else have another suggestion?
If it is not in Marlowe, it isn't one of us. One of us took the deal, yeah?
Sheila says, "How long did he offer all of you?"
50 years.
50 years. I kind of echo him.
She says he offered me 10. She's like in her 70s.
Yeah.
And Father Stewart nods and says the same.
What did he offer all of you? Less?
Same deal as Marlowe, I guess.
What did you tell him, son?
Well, reckon I told him the same as y'all.
Let us hear it.
Told him I weren't interested.
You, Miss Faustnacht?
50 years and the quest is gone from Marlowe. That's what he offered me. And I said no.
Similar in structure. The tact was probably different. But I refused.
He make me no deal. He knew I'd not take it.
Sounds mighty suspicious.
And you, Kingsley?
Yes, he offered me a deal. And I will not lie and say that I was not tempted. My intent was to see James walk free to live his life. And that is what he offered. But I said, not today, sir. It is not my path.
Father Stewart says, there is only one way. We must scorch the earth. None leave here.
I proposed the dagger first.
I'm a patient man. I propose a little bit of prudence. We can spend as much time in this church as we need to. You can take as many pictures as you want. Miss Beauclair, speak to spirits. There's no benefit in us giving up all of our lives.
Let the blood speak.
How long?
Sheila
Mr.
looks
Kingsley,
at you.
how many years he offer you?
Oh, a lot more than I have left on my time on Earth, I would say.
A number. Everybody else said a number. You keep using your words.
50?
Sheila says, Mr. Burke is wise. We have time. It's 4:30. We
Well, actually, not that much time now that I
plenty
think
of
about it. Ooh, actually, I think I need to
She
be.
walks over and looks out a stained glass window. You realize that it's a church. It is fucking filled with stained glass windows. There is no way to close them.
Oh, are we not in the basement?
No.
Oh, I thought we were in that little creepy fucking basement thing.
She looks out the window and then she turns knowingly towards you and smiles.
I must know by now, right?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
be.
She says, we can wait all day.
You'll just get very sparkly in the daylight.
Perhaps we do discover some evil, yes, Mr. Burke? She sits in a pew.
Well, we will discover costs, and it may lead some to a false belief that if someone took the deal, then he will not walk free from here.
Come. This bargain started in blood.
Y'all gonna cut yourselves?
I'm going to take the dagger and
Okay.
cut across the palm of my hand.
Okay. Everyone else gonna do it too?
I'm going to drip it into like a kind of a brazier dish that's probably in the church where you put the wine usually.
Okay.
Ooh, you're hungry.
Well, no, I don't think.
I accidentally smear
I only have one hunger, so I don't know how
Yeah, you
hard
got
it
one
is
hunger.
Sexy.
to resist. But actually, I think Kingsley probably is like slightly suspicious. He's never seen Keen do blood magic. I mean, I know you have dabbled in the occult,
Sure.
but I think he might.
He hands the dagger to the next person.
I'm not really sure where your proficiency in this thaumaturgy has developed, Mr. Keen.
Only in the books he's shared with me. I point to the father.
He seems to think that this will not lead us in any direction, that this is a tool by the devil and it will not betray him. Yeah?
Then we will all have a cut on our hands.
So Father Stewart, he kind of sees your apprehension and he nods and he cuts his hand. And he says, I do not think that much will come of this, but I suppose it is the first step.
I take the dagger from him and I cut my hand.
Are you all bleeding into the same chalice?
No,
Is that
different ones.
a
Yeah.
different one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just filled. We have many chalices
All
in
right,
this place.
Many cups of wine.
Just, I imagine Kingsley go around.
Sampling? Oh, it's like a flight. It's like a flight for Kingsley.
Like a 15-year-old at a wedding, just running around taking sips from the left cups. Let me see if I can ascertain anything here. It's a bit of a taste test in my day.
Hey,
You all-
the last time we
before-
had blood, we had to taste test it.
Yeah. Before Benton cuts himself, he also cuts Marlowe and gets some of his blood as well.
Okay.
James, did you see anything? Were you offered a deal?
He shakes his head. He says, I was been so in and out of it from that venom. No, nothing. Do you cut your hand, Josh?
Yeah.
All right.
Sand comes out.
Roll single D6 for me.
Okay.
A D6 or
I'm
D6?
sorry, D10.
Success?
Success, you're fine. You rouse the blood. You all cut your hands and do the thing, right? No one doesn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Sheila does it too.
She does, so does the priest. And Josh, roll resolve and composure for me. You're looking for 5 successes.
Okay. Well,
Oh my lord!
I've got 5 dice, so unless Ryan rolls these for me,
You did it.
that's
you
5
did it.
successes. two 10s is 4 successes.
Okay.
And 1 6.
Nice.
I'm going to write you a nastygram.
Wowza.
Keep talking.
This smells. This smells
Amongst
off.
yourselves.
This blood smells a little sulfury.
A little brimstone in this one.
In the process of this, I do ask James, bring it up. Do you remember what we spoke of before your concoction took effect of the future?
Yes, I told you about the letter in my desk drawer.
Very well. Indeed. Hopefully they will not be needed to be dispatched.
I'll admit, Silas is standing there looking at all these pools of blood.
In various containers.
I do not know how it will be revealed to us, but I know that the memories of the past, the ones that were shown to us of Mr. Marlowe's ancestors, came to us through the blood.
You think we can relive these dreams?
It's possible. I turn to the priest.
It will take time to prepare. Each 1 weeks. If we somehow ensure no one leaves town, I suppose we could do this.
That is too long.
Kingsley's walking around and
Silas is standing there looking over the blood.
he starts kind of walking in a circle, looking at each cup. And he suddenly stops and his eyes kind of fixate. And you see his hand reach out for a second. And then he pulls it back and looks around.
Have you seen something, Mr. Burke?
Ashila says, is there something wrong with the blood?
Lord. He's staring at this cup of blood.
Who's easy?
Do not.
What is it that you feel, Mr. Burke?
I feel
He wants it.
sadness in my heart. For maybe of all of us, there is only one who truly loved James and would do anything for him.
My eyes snap to Ashila.
Mine snapped to less.
Ashila is just watching Benton. Burke.
The love for Father. Les, my boy, please tell me you didn't do it.
What?
How could you know?
We've all found ourselves uncovering new ways about us. He looks at Benton and the fucking voodoo craziness. He looks at Keen and the cups of blood. And Sheila looks around at everyone and his eyes finally fall on Les and he can almost not make eye contact.
Jake, I'm slowly reaching for the gun.
Okay.
my
Started
hip.
making my way over to
yeah.
less.
What are you doing, Ryan?
I'm breaking for a stained glass window and going out it.
Oh, my
I'm
lord.
gonna take a shot if I can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give chase, try to catch him as fast as I possibly can.
Okay. I think we're in combat. There isn't really initiative in this, but
What is the devil's initiative? That's really all that matters.
so Ryan, you're going to break for a window. You can give me a dexterity and athletics roll.
Does he add infinity? Is that how the devil position works?
Ryan, I'm going to send you a message.
Add 2 to each attribute.
Add 18.
John, you're going to take a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sending you a message.
Jawohl.
Dan, what are you doing?
I am also pulling the gun from my hip that I was reaching for and shooting.
Okay. you guys are both going to be firearms and wits.
Wits, okay.
Yeah, it's speed. What is Kingsley Burke doing, Josh?
I think he's going to try to grab less.
Okay. Brawl and strength.
What should I be rolling with my firearms?
Wits. And Matt.
I'm tackling him. I'm trying to get him before he goes out the window. As soon as he broke to move, I was on him.
I'm going to try to rouse the blood.
Okay.
Should
I
that
roll
be
one for that?
Yep.
same dex?
Yes.
Good. So you
And
got 2.
brawl.
Josh,
I spent a willpower and up with 4.
Matt,
I spent a willpower and got 5.
Ryan.
I also got 5.
Why does the devil also have to be Ryan, who rolls the most insane rolls?
That was my worst roll of the
okay.
game.
Yeah, okay. I did
Matt,
probably because you accepted the devil into your heart.
You were trying to grab him or attack him with the blade?
No, just trying to grab and tackle him.
Okay. All right. So, Josh, you almost grab him, except Benton gets in your way, and Benton does manage to grab one of his arms. Matt, you are shocked by the speed and strength of Les, and he crashes through this window and brings you with him. As he crashes through the window, you hear 2 gunshots. One of them hits the glass above the 2 of you, and the other one hits Les. Ryan, you take 1 level of damage, and you land
Of lethal?
in the street. In the street outside.
Nice try.
I'm using dragon breath rounds.
Nice. Matt, you hit the ground next to him. Can you actually can you roll just your stamina, please?
Yes.
Would have been so much better.
3 successes.
You're fine. You don't take any damage from the crashing through the stained glass onto the ground. Matt, what are you going to do?
If I still have a hand on him, I'm gonna try to pull out the dagger off of my hip and try to stab him.
Okay. Josh, you're the next closest.
Kingsley looks to Marlowe.
You look towards Marlowe, who is still chained to that thing, and you look outside, and it's not daytime, but it's starting to get a little brighter out there. And Marlowe says, what does Marlowe say? He doesn't say anything. He doesn't know what to do or what to think right now.
I go to release Marlowe.
Okay. Dan?
The ceremonial dagger Matt's got, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I run for the door.
Okay, you're gonna try to go to the door and kind of meet them on the street.
Yep.
All right, Matt, you're gonna do strength and brawl. No, I'm sorry, strength and melee. John, what are you doing?
They're all tangled up now, so it's probably not a great idea to shoot.
Just the 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Huh?
Oh, shoot. Do not.
I think he's going to go to the window and like peer out and see them rolling and try to wait for an opportunity and take a shot if Les is exposed.
Okay.
So if you want me to roll something different than like dex, like composure. Maybe?
Yeah, I think composure and firearms would be good for that.
Okay.
And Ryan.
I'm gonna try to if Bulgar still has a hold on me, I'm gonna try to shake him off.
Okay.
And maybe like if he's, I'm picturing he's got like my ankle or something. I'm gonna try to kind of kick him off.
He's got like your left arm.
Yeah. Okay. And then make a break around the back of the church, and as I think y'all know that Les's next move is to try to get to a horse. So that's what. Yeah.
If he gets to a horse,
Kill the horses!
over.
Yeah.
Is willpower add 3 or reroll 3?
Reroll 3.
Reroll 3. Yep.
Okay. So why don't you give me strength and brawl as well. So
5 successes for Benton.
5 for Benton. Josh didn't have to roll. Dan didn't have to roll. John.
7.
Oh, God damn it. Ryan.
Oh,
maybe,
my God.
Maybe Ryan the player made a deal with the devil.
I might have. Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Well, so how did you get 6?
10, 10, 10, 9.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay.
Someone take those dice away from him.
It's down.
Okay.
Are there like 1s and 2s on these?
On some of them. On some of them.
Did you get my message?
Ryan's rolling D4s that have a 7, 8, 9, and 10 on them.
It turns out that the devil is allergic to horses. So
Horses can sense
okay.
the devil
All right.
when they run.
So
I don't have a very good brawl.
you pull away from Benton. You just pull really hard, and he loses his grip. He takes a swipe at you with this knife, and you kind of dodge back. But that has opened you up for a shot from Noah, who you hear that rifle ring out again, and it clips you in the leg. You take 1 more level. I'm letting him resist everything with 1 roll, which is not normal, but maybe he's got something. Maybe he's got boss fight powers.
Maybe, I don't know.
Dan, you get to the door
yep.
on the street just in time to see this shot hit him in the leg, and you start unchaining Marlowe. He's chained pretty well, I assume.
You could probably use your potence to break it, though.
Do you want to try to do that, or do you want to actually try to unchain him?
I will probably. It's behind him too, so
Yep.
I just break it.
Rouse the blood.
Okay.
To it.
Success.
Success. Okay.
And I say, you should have a pot in this.
You break the fucking chains. Yeah, you shatter the chains that are holding him, and you manage to get him up. And he says, we can't kill him.
As he says that, I take a shot from the door.
So, next round. So, you're going to take a shot at him. Mm-hmm. That'll be Dex and firearms for you.
Okay.
John, you're going to take another shot?
Yeah, is he? Where is he running? Where are you running, Ryan?
So if
Straight away, or you like?
if Dan came out, I'm running around behind. I'm gonna go back around behind the church.
He's going to try to basically,
I'm trying to evade,
run
yeah.
out of line of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take another shot.
Okay.
See if I can slow him down so that someone else can catch up.
Matt?
I'm gonna chase after him.
Okay.
I spent a willpower. I got 4 successes.
John, Dex and firearms. Matt, athletics and dexterity.
What?
And Josh, you're here too. What are you doing?
What do we do then, James? We catch him?
Catch him.
Which way is he going?
Towards the back.
If I can metagame my way there.
Oh, I rolled 666.
I mean, I
That's
assume
really
I see him run from a
useful.
scramble out the window.
Yeah. So you have to catch up to him at this point. So athletics and strength.
Okay.
And Ryan,
Rousing the blood.
what are you rolling? What are you doing exactly?
So I'm gonna run. I get my go. I'm trying to find the nearest stable. I'm gonna draw a pistol and fire behind me to try to keep Beauclair from
Okay.
following.
Okay. So you move to like the corner of the building, and you're going to take a shot at Beauclair. Okay. I'm going to have you make 2 different rolls here. Give me a Dex and firearms. That's going to be opposed to Matt's roll. Matt,
She's
what did you get?
6.
You
Cost
got
me a
6.
willpower.
Okay, Josh.
2. And a point of hunger.
I got 4 successes and a point of willpower.
That was a shot, right? You're taking a shot. Ryan, that first roll.
7.
Jesus.
All right, John.
5. And that was a point of willpower, too.
That was a shot as well.
Yep.
And Ryan, I need you to make 1 more roll. This is going to be to resist everyone else, and this is going to be athletics and stamina.
At 52. Cool.
Probably strong. Probably strong.
Devil strong.
Wow.
Just 4.
Just 4.
Yeah, just 4.
Once again, John hits him by 1.
Your worst roll is statistically average.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you shoot Benton. It's a grazing hit. Benton, he hit you for 1.
Court. Lethal?
I'm sorry, it's 2 lethal. It's 2 because it's weapon plus 1.
Oh, so shouldn't the ones I'm doing?
No, not for
Shouldn't they
him.
be? Shouldn't they be?
You think there's some
For mere
different-
mortals.
Yeah.
For mere mortals without
Dragon's
armor,
breath.
sure.
Yeah.
Josh, you're running towards him. Dan, you took a shot as well.
Yeah, I assume he almost ran by me.
Yep.
Yep.
You miss. It hits the side of the building that he runs to the corner of. And John, you clip him again.
Yep.
3 levels. And he's at the corner of the building now. So he's about to disappear out of line of sight. Ryan, you see a horse barn. You can get to it in 2 rounds. You can get into it in 2 rounds. You guys are in a lot of trouble if he gets in there.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Dan. What are you doing?
I'm taking a shot at him again before he ducks around the corner.
Okay, John.
Is he still visible to me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna take another shot. Then.
Dex and firearms for both of you. Josh,
If not go down.
you're outside now. You're pretty close to him.
I'm going to try to run towards him and
Okay.
tackle him again, and I'm going to yell at him to stop.
Okay.
And I'm going to use.
You don't have that.
I don't.
No.
Dominate?
Dominate level 1 just lets you make people forget.
Oh, okay.
They changed it a bit.
Yeah.
That used to be like a higher level ability.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, wait, we need to give people that early. So they can
Probably still feel the compulsion to try it.
Okay.
Reroll.
So, strength and brawl, and if you want, you can rouse the blood,
I managed to get 7
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
John?
5.
with a
5.
willpower point.
Matt, what are you doing?
I am still chasing after him, but I've adopted the serpentine pattern to try to avoid being hit again.
Very on point.
All right. Athletics and dexterity for you. And Ryan, what are you doing?
Heading for a horse barn.
I'm making for the barn.
You want to make a break for it?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna try to cover fire behind myself as I go.
Okay.
But
Again, I'll
Just
make you do. Well, are you just shooting to kind of cover your retreat?
Pretty much,
All
yeah.
right. So dexterity and firearms to resist everyone. And Josh, what was your total?
3. The cost of a hunger and a willpower.
Ouch.
What's your hunger at?
3.
Sorry, I should have told you this. Are you rolling hunger dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay, cool. So you know the hunger dice is equal to your hunger rating?
Oh, I roll that many?
No, you don't roll extra dice. It's just if you have a pool of 4 dice and a 3 hunger, 3 of them are hunger dice. So 3 of them should be a different color.
Okay.
Okay?
I did not do that.
It only matters if you get a failure or a critical success.
Okay. I haven't done
Okay.
anything much in either way.
Right.
I managed with my 3 dice reroll with willpower to roll 2 10s and a 6.
Matt, what was your
Compliment.
total?
4 with a willpower.
4.
I don't think
And
it matters.
Ryan,
I also used the willpower and I got 7.
7 as well.
Dear fucking Lord. It is actually impossible for me to roll better than that. No, I could roll 2 more
more
10s.
10s
So if I
then,
roll
yeah.
4 10s.
You only crit once.
Les gets to the door of the horse
You only crit
barn.
once.
Oh, you only nope.
Yeah.
So it's actually impossible.
Oh.
If I were Ryan, I'd just start summoning minions
He
from hell.
takes a shot. He takes a couple shots as he runs towards runs backwards towards the door of the horse barn, and he gets to the door. This is basically your last turn to shoot at him before he's
Dancing with the devil.
okay. You got to stop him from getting in that barn.
Light the barn on fire.
What are you doing?
Kingsley doesn't think he can get to him.
Okay.
He pulls up and he says, Les, if you leave, let us find you before your 50th birthday. Swear it!
Do I have visibility on the horses?
I don't think, like,
Not at the moment.
Kingsley doesn't think Les is the devil. Kingsley thinks
Less is less.
Les is Les
Running away from
with
the
the
situation.
deal.
Yeah.
He might be wrong.
Yep, it's true. I hadn't really considered that, but it's true.
Okay. Ryan, what are you doing?
I'm getting on a horse.
Okay. Matt.
I guess where am I in relation to him? Like, am I?
You're in the street. You're maybe
So he like burned to me. He's a pretty far distance away.
he's maybe 40, 50 feet away.
Jesus.
This game's gonna end with the devil riding off into the sunset.
Shame!
I mean, he's going to try to do whatever he can to stop him from getting out of the barn, I guess. I don't know if he can...
Dude, fucking Predator overhand chuck that Satan knife.
50 feet at a running target? That shit ain't working. I'm just running to the barn, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how, like, movement in action in this works.
Okay.
But, like...
Well, you want to try to... you're going to try to run towards the barn and get to him. But you don't have, like, a ranged weapon,
No,
right?
I just have my knife.
Okay, you can get to him from where you are. Josh?
I'm just doing that
Doing the same. You're going to get to him as well.
and calling out to him.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to...
Go out, John. Sorry, Matt, what was that?
I was just saying, I'm going to get to him and, like, try to stop him from getting on a horse. And if that means,
Okay.
like, slitting a horse's throat underneath him, then Benton's not a...
You guys
Gonna
can
hesitate.
basically get to where he is. And hope that someone buys you another moment or that you can get him before he gets on that horse. But you can get to the door of the horse barn. John?
I'm going... trying to think. I have nothing really to, like, scare the horses. There's no...
From where you are, you can't see them.
You might be able to leave out of a different exit in the barn, too.
and there, it's possible that there's a door on the opposite side as well.
Yeah.
You could either try to take a shot at him from where you are, or you could try to get into a position where if he comes out of the barn, you can take a shot.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to get into a position that either way he comes out of the barn, I can shoot at the horse.
Okay. You could try to climb, like, you could try to get to higher ground. I don't really know. Try to get on a roof or something.
I mean, there's a bell tower in this church.
You want to try to go back inside and go up there. I mean, it'll possibly get you a couple shots at a distance.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna
right,
do that.
so you're doing that, and Dan,
Silas is, I think, running for the barn as well.
I think your gun is empty now.
I've taken 3 shots.
It's a Derringer, like
Yes.
a holdout gun, so it probably only
I have
shoots 2.
the pistol that
Oh, you have a regular revolver. Okay.
he gave me.
Okay.
I thought you were carrying around the Derringer that you
He
got from
was.
the priest.
I still have that.
Oh, you had both. You
Yep.
had 2, technically. So you have 3 guns on you.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're not shooting?
I'm not shooting.
Okay.
I'm just running to try to get closer.
Okay. You all get closer. Ryan, you are about to go into the church. Into the barn. They're running down the street. You know you've got enough lead to slam this door behind you and get on a horse before they get to that barn door. And you open the barn door, and I want you to roll resolve and composure for me.
Nice.
Oh, that's right.
4 successes.
You open the barn door, and Wakara stabs you in the side with a knife.
Outstanding.
Nice.
And he grabs you and he pulls you close, and he says, "This was my destiny."
Thank you.
And you guys get there before he gets into the building. What are you guys doing? John,
Yep.
you get up to the tower and you have a shot. Maybe they've held him there for a moment, but he's still at the door.
I'm going to take it.
Dan?
What is he doing?
He's looking into the barn.
Has the door
But he
open.
doesn't look well.
Right. He's just standing there.
Something has happened. You're not sure what.
I raise my pistol, but I don't fire.
Okay.
Benton, the blade.
Matt?
I'm pulling the dagger from my hip and
If there's a way,
sink it into his...
there's a way. Separate them.
What are you doing?
Stabbing him. He's going for a kill.
I love this
Separating
image
shit.
of his ghostly friend stabbing him in the side, and that's replaced by Benton actually stabbing him in the side.
Melee and strength, please, Matt. And Josh.
I probably don't react fast enough, but if Benton's just going for a killing blow, I probably kind of reach out to try to stop him or pull his arm back slightly. But
You could probably separate him if he's going for multiple stabs.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see if it matters.
Willpower for 6.
Ryan, give me just roll stamina.
Can I elect not to?
I will. All right. Roll stamina and then roll resolve separately and subtract the resolve successes from the
Okay,
stamina.
okay.
You are possessed.
I got 4 to shoot him.
2 stamina,
Ryan's worst roll of the game.
3 resolve.
3 successes on 3 dice.
All right. Wow. So a net of 0. Well, -1, but Matt.
You got 6 successes,
Matt
right,
got
Matt?
6.
Yes.
Yep.
And John
4.
4. Okay. You hit him right in the back, and then you lose sight of him because Benton, who remember is a huge man, comes up behind him and puts this knife between his ribs in his side, right where Wakara's knife is. And Benton, you hear him say, "Thank you," and then he dies.
As he says thank you, Benton will whisper into his ear, "You don't go, boy. You don't go." And he'll lay him slowly to the ground.
Nice.
And scene.
And that's it.
Yeah, it was only 1 character death
Yeah.
and elected at the end. Pretty good. Well, actually, Josh is dead too, so that's 2.
Who else took the deal?
I don't know how we're going to edit this, but I do want to do a quick epilogue for each character.
Cool.
And I'd like you all to also read your note and let us know whether or not you took the deal during this epilogue.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Nastygram RPG podcast. A few quick thanks for our badass intro music, A Wilhelm Scream. They have an awesome new album, Lose Your Delusion. Go check it out. For our outro music, Adrian Von Ziegler. All scores are by Adrian Von Ziegler and Antti Martikainen. No Dean on this arc, but if you want to listen to him, check out the great shows over at Liberty Street Geek, The Lost Drive-In, Kirking Off for your Star Trek love, and Mind Killer for some Dune talk. Lastly, guys, this is our 4th arc, and we are loving it. We have a lot more planned. To do that, we need you. You hear it all the time, but it's true. Podcasts won't exist without listeners, and we need your support and involvement. Ratings, reviews do make a huge difference, and so does telling people about the show. People that like role-playing game, people that like storytelling, anybody think that might dig this. So spread the word, spread the love. We got a lot more coming. See you next week.
So, who wants to start with their epilogue? Well, Ryan, you're off the hook.
That was my plan all along.
I should have thought of that.
I could do mine. Mine's probably the...
Go for it.
Why don't you start us off, John? Why don't you tell us what your Nastygram says, and then tell us what happens to Noah in the years to follow.
When offered the deal by the devil, Noah, of course, said no.
John wrote Noah, and he circled
And
Noah.
yeah,
So, where do we see Noah in the future?
Noah Fashnacht steps out of a carriage on a busy road in the middle of Baltimore. It had been a week since that night in Black Valley, but the nightmares have not abated. He tips the coachman after his trunks are unloaded and heads inside. His workshop was as he left, mostly packed up and ready to be loaded onto a ship destined for home. He rolls up his sleeves and grabs a crowbar, now set on the path before him. Later that day, his assistant, noticing the lights on in the workshop, stops in to see Noah at work removing the oil-soaked cloth that protects the machinery from damage on the journey. Mr. Fashnacht, you're back. What are you doing? I thought you were leaving for Switzerland once you got back from Black Valley. Ah, George, yeah. It seems I am needed in America for a while longer. If you wish to work for me, I could use some help. Here, a list of items I require for my next project and some research material from the library. Noah hands him a paper and goes back to work. Danke, George. Oh, and make sure the silver is pure. 999 silver bars, yeah?
Nice. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Okay. Dan, what did Silas's Nastygram say?
Silas's nasty gram said, hell yeah, no, definitely no. And the epilogue I wrote, Silas carefully pulls the glass plate from the wooden carrying crate, lined with soft pads to protect the plates. He nervously pulls the first of the Marlowe family portraits. Silas knows in the past, when he has seen beyond the veil, it's always been the first photo. The light shines through the negative plate and onto the paper. Silas can see it already tells a greater story than a simple family portrait. Marlowe stands furthest to the left, regal in stature and dressed in his military uniform, a stately general by all accounts, with his arm resting upon the tall chair next to him. But there, emblazoned upon his brow, the mark of the damned, and above it all, a fiery crown circling the air above his head. In the plate, a white of some hellish fiery glow. Miss Lydia Marlowe sits beside him, back straight in a stately chair. While she herself looks poised and well-appointed, it's her shadow that gives her away. Looming above her, great black wings circling around the children as if to protect them, long, spindly, sharp, and shadowy fingers reaching out to hold the man by her side. And among the children there sits Adam, his childish innocence marred by the same symbol of damnation. Silas considers the photo now as he hangs it in the cool, dark room. His thoughts wander back on the events as they unfolded in the closing days. He looks to the shelves with many of the books that he pulled from Marlowe's library on the mystical and occult, the suit of armor now standing on display, the dagger as well, a case with the ancient blood securely closed. He looks at the chalkboard with scribbled alchemical and arcane symbols, these things scattered amongst all the other items of mystery in this hall. He has known since the war, information is power. Marlowe taught him that. If you don't know it even exists, is it even real? That's the power of the darkness, to cover and conceal. Silas closed the door and turns the large key, glances up the symbol of the door, the sword wreathed in flame, and knows there's work to be done.
All right, we got a little glimpse into the Dan character creation there. 27 pages.
Yep, we did it. I cut it short for the audience.
Anyone want to follow that?
No. Benton thought he was pretty much going to die in that, so there is no epilogue for him. No.
Well, why don't you tell me what your paper said, Matt, or what your text message
That's a big negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Benton is going to. I don't have anything pre-written, or is
you
what
really
I'm
thought he was
say
going
is
to die?
Eloquent.
You
Oh yeah,
Benton really didn't.
Benton was convinced that he was going to use his life to stop the devil. He's impressed that Les took the deal to save Marlowe. I think he knew it sort of in those moments and didn't want to accept it. But I think he's going to hold true to the promise that he gave Marlowe, was that he was going to look after Adam. And I think Benton sees what Lydia is a threat to him and them. So I think he's probably had a little knowing with Noah about sort of his view of it all. So I think after you're in your laboratory, Benton comes in carrying his sack behind you all, and looks down at your little helper and says, he said, you have some room for me here. I'll be staying around for a little while.
Nice.
Matt, Father Stewart is actually there as well, and he says, that won't be necessary, Mr. Benton. A letter came for you. And he hands you a letter, and you read it, and it explains that for several months now, Mr. Walter Tandon has been missing and is now presumed dead. In his will, he left his home to you.
That's weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Probably need to revenge his death.
Yeah, I think
Benton, their
finding
vampire
out
hunter?
that Tandon was killed, I think Benton is going to
Well, he's missing.
presume dead. He's gonna assume that he was killed. But I think he's going to stay with Noah and probably donate the home to like a community center for the town.
Voodoo.
Yeah.
All the orphans that we created.
Voodoo orphans. Nice.
Nice.
Many, many orphans.
So many orphans. Oh.
It's gonna be Noah and Bent on the hunters.
And-
Versus.
What's the good guy? Good guy
I thought my character was going to be killed by the other characters.
by the other characters. I thought there was a pretty good chance of that. too.
Kingsley's Nastagram said, "Not today, sir. Not today."
Nice.
And little quick scene. Maybe this doesn't come to pass if he's hunted down, but picture him in a well-appointed office,
Oval.
shades drawn. He's sitting in a chair behind a large, heavy desk, drinking looks to be a glass of red wine.
It's not.
In front of him, there are 4 men, 4 tough-looking hombres. And Kingsley puts down a paper dated January 2nd, 1898. He raises a glass. He says, "To a new year, an important date. Gentlemen, I trust you understand your duties. You have 6 weeks to get yourselves into that harbor in Havana and put that ship at the bottom. We're not going to let any second-rate colonial power turn back this great nation. This is a new year for us, a new destiny. If anyone gets in the way," he reaches under his desk, puts a knife up on the top. "I call this a Kershaw blade. Wield it with honor. Gentlemen, to the coming American century." He raises his glass.
Nice.
Are we going to play that game next?
Fucking Spanish-American War.
All right. I think that's a wrap.
That's it.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the devil did not win.
Oh.
A little
Yay.
disappointed.
He's close. He almost got to a horse.
I will reveal my picks. I thought Ryan and Josh.
All right.
That was my hopes and dreams.
If it had been double, if you guys had both done it, we would have.
fucking
That would have
fantastic.
got us.
I mean, that's a very politician thing to blame it on one guy.
Yep.
It would have
100%.
been fantastic if one of you.
I think if
That's nasty.